We made it through the season. Not like we made it through, like it was difficult. But
yeah, right.
We did it.
We made it through. We did it.
We really...
It's over.
Persevered. We started this as really just an experiment to see if we liked podcasting, and I think we really love it. It's a huge part of it has been producer Michael. We just sit down and talk.
Yeah.
And then it gets created, which is awesome.
We talk, and then a podcast
and
happens.
then it shows up. So in this kind of wrap-up episode, we want to talk
It's a season finale.
Oh,
a wrap-up episode sucks.
Season finale.
Season finale is a thing like, oh my gosh, you're going to watch the season finale
What about
tonight.
season 2? It's not going to be as good.
Yeah.
In the season finale, we talked to everyone that works at the Wonder Jam except Matt, who currently is on tour with his band.
Right.
But we talked to Annie, who handles a lot of our marketing and events.
Yep.
We talked to Erika, who designs here. We talked to, obviously, producer Michael, who does other things besides produce this podcast. And then our intern, Olivia. And we kind of talk about what we've learned over the past 2 months, sort of taking this podcast season as a time frame of the last 2 months, like June 1st till now.
So all 4 of them have impressed both of us have impressed me with how much they've learned, how much they've jumped in and worked on projects where they don't have previous experience.
Yeah.
Or they don't maybe even know
how to do it.
Yeah. And so I wanted them, because I know it's unique for them working for us, but those are also the type of things that a lot of our clients struggle with all the time, of just trying something even though they don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
And so hopefully some of the people who are listening to this, whether they're stuck in a job and they want to have a different one, or whether they own their own business and they wish something was different, what I would hope at like the deepest level is you would understand that if a 20-year-old can show up and like start learning how to do some stuff they've never done before, or if producer Michael can figure out how to learn how to animate and then make a thing that a client wants and then have it delivered by 4 days later for something he's never done before, maybe you too can leave your job and get to the place you're trying to go.
Yes, we talk a lot about learning. We talk a lot about the different projects that we all have been working on outside of this podcast, and I think it's a great way for everyone listening to get to know the other people on our team, because it's not just Adam and I. Yeah. Adam and me. Us. Whichever you say. Yeah. But it's really great. Great conversations, many celebrity headlines, many...
We got the whole team's celebrity headline, which is kind of nice.
And they're very varied. Like, they cover...
Diverse might be a better word to use instead of varied.
Very varied. They talk... We cover a lot of different decades. Industries and entertainment. Yeah. It's gonna be great.
But this first... To people listening to this...
I hate when people say buckle up. Like, no.
This first season has been so much fun. We get the loveliest feedback in the world from people. Most lovely.
The best was a message I got on our Instagram that someone went to Sunny Meadows Flower Stand and Cherbourg Bakery because they listened to the podcast. That honestly made my day.
It probably made that person's day too, because both of those places are awesome.
Yeah.
But it's been to listen to so many people who, to hear so much feedback from people who are stuck in those places of like, I wish something was different, and getting to listen to this season 1 guests that we had were just normal people. Mm-hmm. You know, they're all amazing. They have cool businesses. They're doing cool stuff. They've been doing it for a while. Yeah. It's not like something they just started. But everyone just started somewhere.
They did it.
You know? And you hear the same kind of theme when you get to listen to more of what our team does. So yeah. So enjoy. This is the season finale.
We'll see you on the next season.
Meet all of our people.
We'll hear you then. You'll hear me.
You'll hear us there.
Bye. Hello. We're starting this podcast now. With me sits Adam Lehman, Michael Tedesco, and Annie Webster. Welcome, everyone.
Hi.
Everyone's mic'd. We have 4 mics.
Fun. This is exciting.
It's very exciting.
So Michael will be on throughout this entire recording because he's actually always on. He's always listening.
He's always here.
I'm always here.
He's
not always mic'd.
But right now he's mic'd. So he'll be contributing, and we wanted to take some time to talk to Annie. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. So you work here.
I do.
It's nice to see you. What have you been doing this morning?
Building more IKEA shelves.
Awesome.
This time, it only took an hour, whereas yesterday it took 3 hours.
Uh-huh.
Because we didn't mess it up.
Yeah. Everyone.
that kind of goes along with the theme of this episode of what did
Oh
you
my
learn?
gosh, it does.
Oh, yeah.
So true.
So
Like
what did you
try
learn?
it. Yeah.
I have a love-hate relationship for IKEA.
Wait, why do you still love it?
It's awesome.
Because
Oh,
it's
'cause
IKEA.
awesome.
I
Yeah.
mean,
And it looks good.
it looks good in the end.
Yeah. So that is a really good analogy for how we kind of approach everything, which is we'll figure it out and then maybe learn from it later.
Mm-hmm.
I think
When this podcast started, Adam was saying something.
well, I think that's the thing that's interesting about Annie compared to everybody else on our team is she's been around the longest.
Yes.
And so she's watched us screw up stuff repeatedly and
Yeah.
then eventually get better at things.
Yeah. Annie, you were there for my first cookbook shoot
Yeah.
ever.
First art gallery.
First art gallery. First
First step.
first steps as a human being.
Yeah, I was there.
You were my guardian angel as a baby. But you were there for my first cookbook, and then now we just did our fourth during the recording of this first season.
Mm-hmm.
How was that compared to the last three?
We definitely have gotten better at it.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we've tried different methods throughout all 4 different cookbooks on, like, how we're going to prep for everything and shop for things. And this last one, we shot for, 5 days straight? And then
Yeah.
took a weekend off. And then shot for, 2 more days?
Yep. And then took another week off and then shot for 2
Yeah.
days. So we spread it out. We also relied more heavily on Amazon.
Yes. I think that's the trick, though.
Honestly.
I
You're
truly
the
love
reason
Amazon.
why he just became the richest
Yeah.
man in the world.
I actually bumped it.
You
Wait,
bumped the
what? I
person.
didn't know
He was
that.
the richest man in the world for like a minute.
The stock,
Mr. Amazon.
whatever. Jeff
Jeff
Bezos.
Yeah. He changed his
It's
name.
not named after him.
Yeah, I
I
know.
thought it was
Like,
his
why
name.
not call it Bezos? Bezos?
Bezos.
Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Amazon sounds better.
Yeah, Amazon does sound better.
Yeah.
Let's
Gwyneth
get
did
quickly
not
into
think
our
that good.
favorite segment of the show called Celebrity Headlines,
Right.
where we talk about things that we see. It gives us an excuse to talk about famous people.
True.
So
Annie, what's
let's
yours?
go with Annie's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping this wasn't, brought up already, but
Uh-huh.
I'm really proud of Chrissy Teigen in getting blocked by Trump because
Yeah.
She got
she
blocked.
deserved it. Yeah.
She got blocked. She wrote LOL.
She
no one
deserved
likes
it
you.
in, the best way possible that you
Yeah.
can deserve something.
Yeah.
It's almost like a badge of honor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
in
no,
today's
and I
world.
love her for it.
She said, wow, it took me saying LOL, no one likes you for that. That's what did it.
Yeah, that's what did it.
Because she said a lot of other
All
things.
of her valid,
Yeah.
points and protests
Nope.
didn't matter, but
I wonder how
No
just
one-
I wonder
LOL,
how
no
it's
one likes you.
chosen. I'm gonna block this
Yeah.
person. You know, because
all criticism.
yeah, because there's a lot.
There's a
Do you
lot
think
of
it's someone's job, or do you think he
It's him.
handles it?
I think he runs everything.
I think he runs that Twitter. I don't think
imagine.
other people
Yeah.
get access to that
No,
account.
I can't imagine anybody making those choices.
I think someone else runs his POTUS account.
Yeah.
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 Oh,
He probably doesn't.
Did you guys see the White House tweet from yesterday or the day before?
What?
It was so North Korea, you guys.
Really?
It was we are so blessed to have President Trump. We are forever in your debt, America and God, blah, blah, blah.
Wait, the White House.
The White House
account?
official Twitter. It was the creepiest tweet.
Is it their new
Ew.
communications director tweeting that?
I don't know. It's
Well,
not much.
my celebrity headline was supposedly Hulu is bringing back the TGIF
Saw that.
lineup,
Yeah.
which is just all the seasons of what is it, Step by Step,
Oh my god!
all the shows that I like.
Family Matters.
Family Matters.
Which I used to just call Urkel.
Oh,
I think
really?
everybody did. Nobody
I-
ever called it Family
Yeah.
Matters
I watched those anytime I was sick as a kid.
Yeah.
That's
They're,
always
on
what
during
was
the day.
on.
during
Yeah.
the day.
So when
That's
we were
exciting.
younger, that was Friday night.
Oh.
TGIF was the lineup. And then there was at one point where the Olsen twins shows, what was that called?
Full
It's
House.
not-
House?
No. Two of a Kind. Two of a Kind used to be on
What?
the TGIF.
I've never heard of that.
All of you are listening, write in the comment section. I'm just kidding, there's no comment section. If you listen to it, you understand Two of a Kind was Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen's show when they were probably I was 13, so they were probably 13.
It's
Check
not
it
the
out.
show where they had that that pizza song that they do.
No.
Oh, was that
don't
Look
know
it
what that
up sometime.
Okay.
We're gonna show notes it, but
Show notes.
it's so good. It's so good. It's when they had like the haircut that was like
Very
short
flippy.
and kind of flippy.
Oh.
Cute. super
I know
cute.
that era.
Yeah. I couldn't pull it off, but anyways, Adam, what's your celebrity headline?
We're going to do all of them?
No, we can wait.
Yeah,
we're gonna be talking
I'll
to
save
other
mine
people.
for the next
Okay,
time we
cool.
talk to somebody.
Well,
We're
mine
talking
is-
to everybody on the team.
Right, mine is TJIF lineup.
Coming back.
We can hear from yours later, Michael.
Okay, I have to think about it.
So, anything else that you've learned throughout, we'll call it the summer / this span of season 1, even though you were not here for the recordings, Annie?
No, I wasn't here for them. And if I'm being honest, I've only listened to like 2.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You're
Oh
fine.
my god. I got a fake fan, fake friend.
As long as you write a review and subscribe,
Yeah,
that's fine.
well, she
I
hasn't.
know, I'm subscribed.
Oh, you haven't
I
read
just-
the review.
That's fine.
After
I'll work on it.
this, that's
Just make sure you
fast.
play every episode. It helps our download count go up. That's what we're
You don't
really,
even
that's
have
what
to
we're here
solve
for.
I'll just put
We're
it
here for
on
the
Put it on
videos.
mute
but
while
play
it's
it.
playing.
Yeah, that's fine. Just
Michael's
sleep.
very offended.
Put it on repeat.
Michael's very offended.
While you sleep at night, just put it on repeat and silent, and that's fine.
Shuffle. So anything else? Think back.
Yeah.
What was the
Throwback.
summer?
Last 2 months. So cookbook. You started working more on like projects with some of our clients on retainer.
True. Working with clients is fun.
Question mark?
I mean, I've learned to like be more on top of that kind of stuff and try to like hold clients accountable in a way because I'm here, I'm going to do my job, but you know,
Yeah.
I
Or
need to
like
meet
both-
halfway.
Both people have to contribute. I think that's the thing that I might have known many years ago when I first started, but it's so like any relationship where you both have to contribute.
Yeah.
And I think in the past, I very much viewed the work that I did as like, I just do a lot of work for this person. But I think when we start, I just choked on something. When we start working with people and it's so much more of a collaboration where they owe us things, like they have their own deadlines and then we owe them things and we have our own deadlines.
Yeah. It's also been interesting to watch how I work with a client and then I work with the rest of the team in getting design work done and copy written. That's just been kind of fun to like play with and kind of learn from and learn that things take time and, you know.
Yeah, it's not like instant.
Right.
Has anything surprised you in juggling something like work like that and then like running some of our events and getting those set up and marketed? Like, does it feel very different even though you have to pull in a lot of different like, I don't know, assistants or like a designer and things like that?
I don't know. I wouldn't say it's really different because when I look at it, when I'm doing like events or workshops for you guys, it's like you guys are my client almost.
Right.
So it still is that needing to meet halfway. And I think I've tried to get more like on top of having meetings with Adam, kind of like once a week or once every other week to like talk through events and just keep that stuff rolling. So
Yeah. I think that's been like my favorite part of the past 2 months is people on our team are starting to just like schedule a meeting with me. Like Erika, our designer, will just schedule it and it'll be in my calendar. And I think that proactiveness, if anyone's listening, if you're working with a client or your boss or yourself, like setting those and not just expecting that communication to happen. The thing that I need to work on the most is meeting with Adam. I think I'm shocked 4 years into doing this, how hard it is to fit in meetings, email, and then making the work. Like that shocks me. And it shouldn't shock me because I should have figured it out by now.
What's been, so our events have started running a lot more smoothly to the point where I'm almost even not used to it. I was telling Allie as we were driving back from our meeting before the workshop last night, I was like, I'm actually nervous, but Annie's taking care of everything, but I shouldn't be nervous. But so that stuff has started to really click with you of pulling those things off. What's been different, over the last couple of months versus 6 months ago? Was there something like we did different communication wise or something that you just approached it differently, but that's been like a different level?
Yeah.
I think the whole proactiveness is what really helps that out. It's not the day of that I'm thinking through questions that I have for Adam. I asked him those, or Allie.
Yeah.
I asked those questions or, created those tasks on Basecamp like a week ago. So that just helps my brain think more clearly the day of.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the proactive, and another thing that this summer that, you know, you always think that you have some kind of like thing nailed down, but time management is,
it's a challenge.
yeah. It's always, and you're always like having to become better at it.
Yeah.
So.
Or like your schedule or your task shift so that you can get time management down in like a certain season of your life. And then I think like cookbooks tend to really throw me off because it's like, yeah, my time management is this way on like regular work. And then this type of project is very, everything else kind of stops or halts. So I totally relate. Even in feeling prepared makes you feel so much more confident.
Right.
Like because Annie, you help with preparing for the workshops, Adam and I can prepare more with the content and then just show up, which sometimes makes me feel, when you've ran it for years, like it feels very, I don't know, like weird. It's weird to just walk in.
More.
It's weird to just walk in and be like, it's already, like,
right.
You feel bad sort of as the owner of being like, someone else did this.
It's like weird to let go of that.
Well, I would say that's not, we feel bad. There's a number of people we work with who like live life like everyone's supposed to take care of things for them.
Right.
And
It's
that's like
still
their
odd for
default
me,
is to have, in ours, we are not that way.
Right.
We are very much like, it's easier for us to set up chairs than to ask somebody to do it.
Yeah.
Which has been, Annie's helped us get over that.
Yeah.
Having somebody we can trust to like pull stuff off has been
Yeah, it's hard for me
key.
to ask help. If we want to get real deep, it's hard for me to ask for help. It's been fun doing this podcast, even in thinking through, it's like becomes our own semesters. Like, oh, this was like sort of a phase. Not that the podcast ever really affects totally what we're doing as a team, but it's a cool time to like recap and talk to everybody.
Yeah, and just sit and think rather than run around and hustle all day.
Yeah, and never process things out loud. So,
Annie, is there anything you would like to share with all of our listeners? Give us a word of wisdom, a parting inspirational thought.
That Allison Lehman gets what she wants is the first
Allison
thing I saw.
Lehman gets what she wants.
oh yeah.
And that's what I'm here for.
That's
so.
inspiring.
I'm
That's
about
what we're all here for.
Yeah.
Every time I don't want to ask someone to do something, I just walk into this room and look at that sign.
That's
And I'm
actually a
like,
sign that
okay.
came from Kara.
Kara from Babe Vibes.
Yeah.
You can go onto babevibes.com and
right?
get your own. Yeah, I
That's
think.
so cute. You guys
You
are
just
like
said you
finishing each other's
Well, you're like, you can go on
sentences.
to Babe Vibes? I'm like, is there like a
I don't want to
raft
say.
that you
I
go
don't know
on?
what their URL is.
.co?
Google it. Babe Vibes.
Yeah.
And you can actually get a free downloadable like poster print that has your name that says like mine says Allison Lehman gets what she wants. Like I don't know why you don't want that, so go get it.
Yeah.
That is my wisdom for you.
That was Annie's wisdom for
That
you.
was my wisdom for you to give back to
My
me.
wisdom is Allison Lehman gets what she wants. I just invented that, and I just thought of it.
Thanks for chatting, Annie.
You're welcome.
We're going to start off with our first segment called What Movies Have You Seen Recently That You Said You were going to see with somebody else, but they actually went with their boyfriend thing.
You guys, I'm actually very glad this is coming up on the podcast.
No. What if someone listens to this and they're like, this is just a whole episode about inside jokes and this is horrible.
Well, the backstory on that is that I texted Erika showtimes to a movie saying, let's go to a movie. They're showing this movie at this time tonight. And she's like, maybe next week. And I was like, okay. And then I come into work next day and...
Like the next day.
The next day and say, oh yeah, Erika, we should go see that movie next week. And she starts lying to me. And then halfway through her lie says, actually, I have to be honest with you. I saw that movie last night with my boyfriend at the showtime that you asked me to go to.
Wait. I have a couple follow-up questions.
Yeah.
First, why was she lying?
I don't know. You're going to have to ask her.
No, but like, what did she say that was actually
Oh, she started playing
she was like,
along
oh,
with
yeah,
like,
let's go
like
next
she hadn't
week.
seen it yet.
But
Yeah.
I would say that's up for debate. I don't think lying is being like, oh yeah, we should go see it.
I now question a lot of our marriage. If
Yeah.
that's your standard of lying.
That's fine.
Like,
I
well,
mean-
I just didn't say it.
I was gonna see it with you eventually.
Yeah.
Like, I just didn't want to hurt your
I
feelings.
think withholding the truth is a lie.
Really?
I mean, it depends on if I'm withholding the truth or if I'm being lied.
I don't know if I agree, but
Bias.
I have like a questionable compass. probably.
Yeah.
So if anyone wants to go to the movies with me next week, I'm free.
I'm free. Also, Allie is a really good liar.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think I'm a pretty good liar.
she's
Yeah.
like, I don't want to talk about this anymore.
No,
so
I
let's
will.
move on.
No, but I almost feel okay. So what if you were like, oh my gosh, we should eat these ice cream bars, and I'm like, I just ate one. I'm like, oh my gosh, let's do it.
Right.
Is that a lie?
No, because that's
See, you guys don't know. I see it in your eyes.
What if you're
shifting.
deliberately misleading someone?
yeah. There's a difference between like I don't care if you're having 2
I
ice
know, but I
creams.
was gonna intentionally see it with you.
Yeah, like I'm like definitely
but
gonna
that's-
eat more ice
But
cream
going
bars.
Yeah.
to a movie is
That's
an
true.
experience where like you both don't know what's happening, and
But
you're
I think that had to have
experiencing it
been if
together.
you said, "Let's go both see a movie we've never seen before."
Oh my God, why are you defending her?
Yeah,
I
you
don't
didn't
know.
specify,
I just
so.
I'm like a mother hen of the Wonder Jam. I have to see both sides.
I don't think there's two sides to this. I think I was lied to.
No, it was pretty great. Well, also,
Anyways,
the other part of this is that Erika felt really bad about it.
I did.
Because she came
I
in,
really did.
as soon as she came into the office, she was like, don't tell Michael, but I went and watched that movie last night. And we're like, why does that matter? And she's like, oh, well, he asked me to go, so we're like, okay. So like she walked in and like
Yeah.
wanted to confess, you know.
Right.
For sure.
I forgive you.
Oh, guys, it's so great. Anyways, welcome.
I think
Erika.
forgiveness is
Hey.
underrated. Let's talk about that. No, let's not talk about it. I just want to say it. You should forgive more people.
I agree.
And you should ask for forgiveness more often.
I agree. We just talked
That's
about
it.
how I struggle with asking for help. I also struggle with asking for forgiveness.
Or give
And I'm,
or forgiving people.
yeah, I
wanna
am
get
now
into it.
turning over a new leaf. And I will
As
be
of
better
right now.
Okay. Everyone, I'm sorry for whatever I did.
Oh, God.
So, Erika, you design.
Yes.
You design things.
Yes, I do.
You also are really good at taking care of our plants.
I try to. I mean, I've killed a couple along the way. I just haven't told you guys, which is why I come early in the morning so I can
To
have
make sure.
evidence.
Honestly, though, if I didn't notice the
No.
day before, then it's fine.
Okay, cool. Then we good.
There would be way more plants that were dead if Erika wasn't
Yeah, so Erika is a killer designer, but we used to have 0 plants at the Wonder Jam specifically because we killed all of them. Like,
Yeah.
they all died, and it became like a...
Yeah.
This is, like, not a safe place for plants to be. And then
Not a safe space.
I remember you were sitting one day, I was like... I forget what it was. You're like, we need to get more plants. And I was like,
Like, let's
just
do it.
you have to take care of them, though.
Yeah.
It's like probably when a kid asks for a pet.
Right.
You're like, you have to take care of it.
Right.
But it's literally like their lives depend on you
Mm-hmm.
because they would not survive without you.
I know. I was so geeked when you were like, yeah, I mean, just say like what we need and we'll get it. And I was like, all right.
This is the
I was like
best.
writing everything down. And I was
Yeah.
like, we're getting all this.
It's really fun. They look really good. We're also caring for a few orphan plants right now for other people.
They're in between houses.
Between homes.
We're fostering.
Yes.
So let's talk a little. We talked to Annie. We'll go in that order.
Yeah, we'll go in order.
Okay, cool. We talked to Annie, and we talked about sort of the things we learned, and we're using the framework of this season as like the past 2 months. So things you've learned, and I have some questions. I don't know if Adam has any.
I have a lot of questions.
You
for
go
Erika.
first, then.
Okay, so you completed the 100-day challenge. What did you do? What did you make for the 100-day challenge?
So I watercolored plants for 100 days, just because I used to watercolor in high school and I kind of wanted to get back into it, and I thought it'd be a great thing to pick up for the 100-day. And I would start in the morning, but that turned out to not be consistent whatsoever because I can't get up so early. But then it turned into like just whenever I had time and making time, which was very hard to do.
Yeah.
Was that a struggle?
Yeah, it was.
So on your like fastest day, what was the fastest you ever got one of the paintings done?
Probably with like 10 minutes, just because I was like, I need to get to work, or I don't
Yeah.
want to do this at work
Yeah.
and feel like,
I think everyone who goes through the 100-day challenge, or so the 100-day challenge is you make and share something every day for 100 days.
Yep.
So it's kind of a challenge of consistency.
Yeah.
Everyone
like,
who does
putting
that
yourself out
talks
there.
about doing that. Of like, I had 6 minutes this day, and so I did something quickly.
Yeah.
yeah.
What about the longest? Like, what was the longest amount of time you spent on any piece?
The longest was probably, I want to say about 2 hours. And I actually did it not in my house. I went to a coffee shop and did it.
Oh, cool.
And I like scheduled time to
Yeah.
to do
Oh,
that
really?
thing. So
It wasn't rushed. It was like
Yeah.
you knew you had the time.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So everyone who goes through 100 days of making something learns, you like figure out something you enjoy, or you find like a new way to approach
Yeah.
watercolor, or talk about those things. Like, what did you learn just kind of as far as how you process making art, or
Or even like supplies or whatever.
Yeah. So I started off doing like my type of style, which is like very minimalist, not very like too detailed. And then I got kind of bored with that. So then I tried a little more detailed and realized that took even longer to do. And then I wanted to like dip into abstract, which I'm not a fan of. So sorry if I offend anyone. But I tried doing that, and that was actually very fun. And I ended up doing more abstract near the end. And
So you enjoyed it more than you thought.
yeah, I did. I never really understand like why abstract was like even a category in art, because I didn't get it, but like I understand it more now, which is cool.
Yeah, because I remember talking to you throughout the 100-day project, and I painted last year, where I was like challenging myself to paint abstractly where I normally wouldn't, like that. And it wasn't until like between day 60 and 80 that I found something that I really liked, that other people really liked. And I constantly tell people, if they do the challenge, like, you will finally hit like some sort of stride throughout the challenge, but you would never have gotten there if you weren't doing like the first 50 to 80 days. Like,
those last 10 that you did, right, were like the ones that you chose to frame.
Yeah, I really enjoyed those the most. Even like I didn't even care if anyone else didn't, but I visually liked them the best, which is why I put them in frames.
And you would have never got to that if you didn't
try all the other
first
things.
90 days, right?
What was different about those ones, the last 10, compared to the other ones?
I felt like it was more structured because I had them in circles, and it wasn't like I had to fill the whole space of the piece. And I kind of thought of not only plants, but like scientifically, like what plants would look like, and that kind of like struck.
Microscope?
Yeah, and that kind of struck like the abstract kind of like
cool.
It's up to your interpretation kind of thing.
Yeah. I also noticed, and I'm like speaking for your art, but those last pieces, which we'll link pictures to, while they were simple and more circular, like the inside had so much detail that to me it was like the perfect combination of some of the first abstract stuff and the really intricate ones. Like, it still had pieces of those, or it still had characteristics of those.
So you also, with those, we had an art gallery here, which you and Allie both shared some of your work at. You had all 100 paintings up. Allie didn't have all 100 of her pieces up. And you had a lot of people come through and observe and kind of talk to you about it. Was there anything that, this was the first time you'd done that, yeah? Like, you'd never had a gallery for your own stuff?
No, I've
So what
never
was that
done
like, or what surprised you? What was hard?
It was a lot of work to put together. But in the end, I think I'm really glad I did it, because I was like second guessing it constantly. And I was like, even like an hour before the thing started, I was like, should I even like show up to my own like gallery show? But
didn't you like uninvite your parents? And then
yes, and then I uninvited my parents because I was like, well, maybe this won't be like an actual thing. And then I was like, well, maybe it will. So then I re-invited them the same day. But it was hard for me to show all of my work just because I didn't really like half of them that I did, and I don't really like to show things that I don't like personally, but it really shocked me how a lot of people liked the ones that I really hated. And yeah.
That's like the most surprising thing, is you can really hate a piece and someone else loves it. And I think this sounds so cheesy, but it helps you really like love yourself, in that you could create art or design or photography or whatever, writing, that can change something in someone, or like make them excited or be drawn to it, and it ends up being less about you, or like it's less about me when I see that, and I think it lets me feel more permission to make things.
And I think I see it so much with the both of you, of it helping you understand what are you doing for yourself versus what are you doing for somebody else, and understanding, as you're designing websites or logos or packaging for something, understanding like, am I doing this for me? Is there like some kind of ego that I'm bringing to this? It's like, this has to make me happy, or am I doing this for the client or for the customer? Like, who is this for?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times creative people get those things confused, where they hold too tightly to something a client wants, or or don't have their own space to go make something just for themselves.
Right.
You kind of get stuck in that, doing both with everything.
Yeah. So while you were doing these paintings, Erika, because it was from April to July, how was it like balancing that personal work, painting, and then designing for the Wonder Jam?
There was definitely some days where I had to bring it into the office and do it, which I didn't feel like I should be doing, but I did it anyways. And then, like, after going through that so many times, I was like, well, I should really schedule out some time in the morning or, like, when I come home from work to do it. So it was just a lot of, like, playing with time and, like, working around my schedule. And then I finally got in the groove of it, I think, near the end, where I would just get up in the morning really early and do it.
What about, did you feel like it affected how you design or, like, how you approached client work? Like, having that creative outlet, did that shift, like, either, I don't know, your focus on, like, how to approach client work, or was it, like, better because you had that creative outlet in the morning?
Yeah, I think because when I design things, I try to put like my kind of style on it, and usually, or sometimes that doesn't work with a lot of clients. They don't really, because I'm not designing for them, I'm designing for me half the time. And so doing this 100-day project kind of gave me like that hour or 30 minutes to like take time to like create something for myself rather than for someone else. And then I think that's another reason why it was so hard to like post it to social media, because I didn't want to show people like, I don't know, what I like or what I don't like kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, the sharing part, I think, is a whole nother aspect to the challenge that I encourage a lot of people to do the challenge even if they don't want to share, but sharing adds a whole nother component.
Definitely.
Because then people start seeing you as like, oh yeah, you do those paintings. You're like, well, I do other stuff too,
Right, yeah, because that's what my main concern was, like, oh, people only think I paint, like, flowers or plants. Like, I can do, like...
I do other stuff.
Yeah.
For money.
I only paint succulents.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's amazing. But I think overall it's good to put yourself out there and share your work. And I think overall, if anyone's listening or has thought about doing the challenge, people love seeing you make things. Like, a lot of people aren't doing the challenge, or they're not making something every day, and you can really encourage someone.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. You guys did a hard thing, and it's cool.
We did it. It's time for celebrity headlines. Erika, you were warned beforehand. I already mentioned mine, and it had to do with throwback 90s TV show. But I'm going to have Adam and Erika share during this one.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't really know any celebrity headlines. I'm more of like movie, TV
totally
show. Fine. Okay.
Yeah, we all know you
That's
love
cool.
movies. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine was old TV.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, mine's gonna be I'm hyped on the new Stranger Things.
Yes,
that's gonna come
trailer
back.
came out.
Oh yeah, and I love that they use that actor's voice, who they sampled for the Michael Jackson music video. It's just
so good.
I'm excited. I'm pumped. I watch it and I get chills every time.
We watched the trailer like 4 times this weekend when Matt was here. We passed around our phones like, you watch it, now you watch it.
I haven't seen it yet.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so good.
Have you seen season 1?
Yeah, I saw the thing is with Stranger Things for me, I saw season 1 like when it first came out, and then like a month or so after it was released was when it got super big on Twitter.
Yeah.
So I got like really burnt out on it because people were talking about it after I had already like seen it and
liked it
and then I was over it, and then everybody was very into it, and then those kids were everywhere. So I got like a little burnt out on it.
It was a little much, yeah.
I get really nervous for season 2 for that reason.
Yeah.
Of like, it started off as a random thing that all of us discovered was awesome.
Yeah.
And now
Then it got
you can't watch something without expectation,
for sure.
which I think is going to be difficult.
It's kind of like Star Wars in the sense that there's like a huge fan base with it,
Yeah.
and it kind of burns you out.
Yeah.
It's just weird
Like
when
those
something
people
has
do.
a cult following, like, while it's still happening. I feel like
Mm.
shows or movies that have, like, this type of cult following,
Are
they get
older.
it. Yeah, it's like an old thing that already
Yeah.
happened. It's not, like, currently with, like, 12-year-olds who are, like, on
They're like
TV.
on Instagram.
Yeah, and on Instagram. It's just...
I worry about the kids.
Yeah.
I hope that they have like humble families and like
Yeah.
are handling
Right.
their fame well.
Oh, Allie, that's so weird. Being a child star always works out
yeah,
for
I
everybody.
know, right? Adam, what's yours?
So mine is Scottie Pippen's sons just posted a photo with Kanye West.
Uh-huh.
Who's
Which-
Scottie Pippen, by the way?
Scottie Pippen, oh my gosh, this is
Oh my
amazing.
gosh, are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my
Because
gosh.
he is still kind of like modern. He gets in the headlines every once in a while, too.
I know that name, but it can also
He-
be like a Mary Poppins
He
was-
played
character.
on
He
the
played
Chicago.
basketball.
I'm like shaking right now. I was in his fan club.
Is he a
Michael.
sports person?
Yeah.
Okay, well then how am I supposed
No,
to
but
know?
he like
This was
he
just
shows up. He pops
transcended.
on.
The Bulls in the
Was
90s
he in like
transcended.
Space Jam?
No.
Then
he
how am I
should have
supposed to
been.
He was
know?
on Michael Jordan's team. He was like the
Okay.
second best player.
Well, then you only know Michael
But
Jordan.
no, but Scottie Pippen.
I know
it's,
the
it's
name.
Fine.
I know
it's
the
fine.
name.
It's
I know
fine.
the name.
It's fine. I'm just gonna turn it
But he
down.
showed up. I mean, his family gets him into headlines. Like he gets.
Did he
into
have a
headlines.
reality show?
No,
Then what
he
do
have,
you
like,
guys
some-
expect of me?
I don't think he had a reality show.
Did he have a daughter?
She
They got in
just was
trouble?
like she was like urinating in public or something.
Same.
Yeah. Okay, here's a few facts.
Okay.
Few facts. Okay.
Head.
No, I gotta do
Okay.
this. Okay.
yeah.
When I was younger, my top three celebrities were Celine Dion, Scottie Pippen, JTT. Okay. So I was in JTT's fan club, asked him to come to my birthday party. Didn't
Jonathan
show up.
Taylor Thomas for
Yeah, everybody
younger
knows
generation.
JTT.
Jonathan
Okay.
Taylor Thomas.
I don't know anymore.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Celine Dion,
A legend.
I got to
obviously.
see her like as an adult. It was great. But I had like this documentary film like recorded on a VHS tape, and I would make my friends watch it. The deal was my best friend Dory Smith was obsessed with Scottie Pippen and the Bulls.
Oh, that's why I know the name, because you told me
I
this
talked
story
about it.
before.
Yeah. So we decided if you support my love of Celine Dion, like I'm gonna be all about Scottie Pippen. But I also love the Bulls. Like I grew up in Illinois. I watched them as a
Yeah.
kid. All that to say is those are my three celebrities, and they're very unrelated, but yet hold
Celine
a
Dion's
special
my
place.
celebrity headline this
Really?
week.
Oh my gosh.
Should I get into that now or
No,
wait
wait.
for the next
Let's
segment?
wait.
I would
Yeah.
love to finish my celebrity.
Oh my
headline.
gosh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
sorry.
I'm sorry.
Super rude.
So keep going.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. I've been waiting to talk about
I'm,
this all
I'm
day.
sorry,
So
Adam.
Scottie
and
Pippen.
Scottie Pippen's sons posted a photo with Kanye at Kim and Kanye's place.
Mm-hmm.
Famously, one of them is friends with are they friends with Kim or Kanye? Who's friends with who?
Yeah, Scottie Pippen's wife is like friends with Kim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scottie Pippen's wife is friends with Kim.
Yeah.
Because they were at their wedding.
Mm-hmm. There's a
Because
line.
Kanye
in
has
the
that
song,
line. It's like feeling like Jordan, Pippen at my wedding. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Which
So that's it.
Yeah.
I saw that come across the whole thing, and
Adam actually sent me that picture, and I responded in all caps, Pippen at my wedding.
yeah.
I feel like your celebrity headline for like the past 3 weeks has just been like somebody that you
With
like
Kanye.
hung out with Kanye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At some sort of
The
Totally.
pictures are so great, though. It's so great. Anyways, Erika, thanks for being
Yeah,
on.
thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Did she know who Scottie Pippen is?
No.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. for clearing that up.
I mean, it's like I get it, but it's the equivalent of like me being like, I literally have never looked at Vine.
Yeah.
So it's like you understand.
No,
that
but if
there's
someone
no
referenced, no, it's not the
The
equivalent.
backstory on that
if
is
you
that I
reference-
notably love Vine and nobody here
But if someone
cares.
referenced Vine,
I would know it.
You would know
That's
what it
true.
was.
I knew the
That's true.
name, but I like I said, Scottie Pippen could be a basketball player,
Got it.
also could be like Mary Poppins' husband. I don't know.
it's also no, but it's also
Scottie Pippen and
it's Scottie Poppins.
That's what like
They pronounce it
I was
differently in the
genuinely
States.
like, is this like a British character?
Pippin.
I don't know. Pippin, isn't Pippin like a thing? A play?
Oh my gosh, I'm dying.
I don't know.
Scottie
Anyway.
Pippen, Mary Poppins, Pippin Poppin, Poppin Pippin. Welcome to this segment where we are going to interview our summer intern, Olivia,
Hello, world.
She also happens to be my
your
sister.
BB sister.
You guys, I saw
Baby.
yesterday on Twitter that yesterday was National Intern Day,
Oh my gosh.
Really?
and I didn't even
We didn't
realize.
celebrate
I
me.
didn't celebrate.
I saw that it was that, and I was like,
He's like, I'm not
Who cares?
telling anyone.
make me
We're
copy.
gonna protest National
going to
Intern
ignore
Day.
Go make copies.
Despite being my
We don't do any of that stuff.
I
with
actually
it.
haven't
No.
made copies at all this
I don't
summer.
know
And you
anyone.
for sure haven't gotten me coffee.
No.
No.
I would like to know,
no.
are people still making copies? What are they copying? We're just printing.
Just print
More,
it.
yeah.
Print it.
Print 5
again.
instead of 1.
Yeah.
We should maybe try it.
I most recently used our printer I found a cool picture of Kanye West and printed it on 4x6 photo paper
Yeah,
and then
glossy.
framed it. So,
Well, to
With-
be fair, I framed it.
to be fair, Michael framed his.
It inspired
Adam
Adam.
gave
Yeah.
me a copy. I framed it in a beautiful gold frame.
On
Put
your
it in my
wall.
home.
Was yours gold?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it wasn't specifically.
This
That's
is
like
like
I was
that.
trying to be
This is
different.
just like that show we watched where he like knew the idea of
Friends from college.
wolf trails.
Oh yeah. Watch.
wolf,
Wolf
trials. trails. We okay.
Wolf
so
trails.
Adam,
For
Olivia.
anybody who's watched that whole season,
I just spoiled. It.
Oh shit.
Bleep it.
Yeah.
no, let's
Bleep
leave
the
it.
whole thing.
I don't.
No, just bleep the like.
But it will help people watch. Some people
Yeah,
will watch it.
True.
No, everybody should watch it. It's
It's
quality.
good.
It's a
Watch
quality
what
show.
though?
Oh, that bleep it. Figure
That'd be
it out.
helpful.
So,
What show?
Friends from
Friends
college.
from college.
Friends
So
from
it's
college.
got,
Netflix show.
It's got Colby
Colby Smulders.
Smulders. I'm gonna say
And,
it's not
Keegan
that.
Michael
It's not that.
Fred Savage.
Fred Savage. Wonder Years.
Yeah, it's got other people in it.
They're yeah.
The guy from Key and Peele.
Key
He's like the
Peele.
main guy.
The tall guy.
Keegan Michael Key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a crazy name.
It's a
Yeah,
lot.
but he's in it. It's good. It's
If
really
you ever-
funny.
Good.
Yeah, watch it. We liked it.
We watched it in one
One
night.
night.
The reason that we
episodes.
got to this part of the conversation with so much not giving references to people is because Olivia also lives with us throughout the summer.
I do.
True.
So
I do.
we spend about all of our time together.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're
And
not just
so-
like making our intern like watch
Right.
a whole season
Yeah.
of TV at our house.
So
They
let's learn a little bit about what Olivia's been working on.
Cool.
So talk a little. So your focus is on communication and creative writing.
Yeah.
So what
Those
are
are my
the-
majors
Talk
in
a
college.
little bit about. Share with the people some of the projects you've been working on because a lot of your projects kind of bleed into other people's projects as well. So
Yeah.
talk a little bit
Yeah.
about that.
I do a little bit of everything, it feels like, in the realm of like writing, I'd say. So I do like social media captions for like, I've done a few for Kingmakers, Board Game Parlor. I've done some editing for the Wonder Jams, like blog posts. I've written taglines for a few different clients. Created like a social media calendar, like a month long for a client to kind of like follow. So I for one client, I interviewed her, got a bunch of content, and then like wrote it into stuff that she could put on her social media platforms. And
You wrote like something that might be turned into like an online
yeah, I
video
wrote
course?
like a 5 tips for 5 copywriting tips for business owners, and it might become like an ebook or an online course.
Yeah.
It's really good.
So-
It's
yeah.
freaking good.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing that prevents a lot of people from creating content. Like we just had our social media class last night, and finding imagery is difficult, but it's also you can solve that issue, I think, faster than like knowing your voice, knowing how to write, all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And I'm
Words are hard.
Yeah, it is hard. And it's even like, it's challenged me this summer. I've always been a writer. I've always been writing, but this is a very different kind of writing than I've done in the past. I mean, it's creative in a way, but I guess like brand voice is very new to me, and like capturing a business's voice or an individual's voice that's not my own voice. And switching between voices has been hard, but it's rewarding and it's fun too. It's a different side of writing that I think I have an appreciation for now.
And I think the amount of time that you spend working on it surprises people. Is that even though some things come quickly, you spend time doing revisions and going through things. And that's something that most people, when they're not hiring a copywriter or not thinking about that. I mean, we work on just a ton of websites where the copy is either an afterthought, like people don't think about the words that are there, or they just can't do it.
Yeah.
It's like, it's garbage.
Right. That's amazing. Adam, how has it been working with and having someone that can write?
It's challenged me a lot because I used to do all of that stuff, or we didn't offer it to anybody. And so now I'm spending a lot more time either brainstorming or getting feedback to Liv, which has just challenged me in a different way of being like, she also works through things very quickly and moves faster on stuff than I thought she would at the beginning of summer. So keeping up with that is like a whole thing.
Yeah. I think that now, even like having Erika who designs for us, every time you add in a new component of like managing and like making a project move quicker, you have to like, Annie talked about at the beginning, time management has to shift, and you have to figure out the best way to work with that individual person.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
Since you live with us, you've seen kind of the behind the scenes of running a business, working on growing a team, all of that stuff. Has there been anything that stuck out to you? This is also your first internship, right?
Yeah.
And your first job that's been connected to you've had other jobs, but the first one that's like connected to what you're trying to do professionally.
Right.
So, first summer of professional experience. Tell us about it. What have you seen? What have you learned?
I think probably like one of the biggest things I've learned that self-care is really important. I never really associated self-care with like the professional side of my mind, I guess. I kind of associated with like my personal life, but I think that's a big thing that the Wonder Jam emphasizes, is that you have to kind of value self-care in your personal and your professional life, and you guys create a great space for that. But that stuck out to me.
What's that been like for you? And you don't have to go into like every detail of your life, but where have you seen moments where you have to like choose to do that, or learning to how have you? I think that's something that, as we have clients who are at every age of their life struggle with that. It's
well, I'm an introvert, and so I get energy from being alone, and I have to recharge by being alone. And so there were days this summer where like I would get up early and we would go to work and be in the office all day, and then like have an event like at night, and I would just be around people like all the time, and like I love people, but I need to recharge. And so like going home and just like being in my room for like 2 hours just to like read a book, or like be on my phone, or like watch a Netflix show, or like going to a coffee shop like on a weekend and like writing or something. So finding like those pockets of time to be alone and to like value myself and what is important to like my health. So I think that is something that I've tried to exercise, and it's something that I do at school, when I'm at home, and of course like when I was here. So it's something that I just have had to build into my life.
Have you felt like it's harder in like a small business environment? Like what parts have felt different than like living at home before you went to college and then like being at school?
I almost feel like it's harder at school. I feel like it was easier here. I feel like sometimes people don't understand that need to be alone, and I feel like when I'm at home and when I'm here, everyone just is on the same page in that way. And of course people know me at school, but I think here we get to know each other very fast, and you do in college, but there's this kind of sense of like, oh, let's all be together all the time and like hang out. But there's this transition, I think, that I went through working here, where it's more of a like real life setting, and people just understand that more. And so I think it was probably easier here to just be like, hey guys, like I need to be alone, whereas I feel bad saying that to like a friend at school. But I can do that at home because like our parents like know me really well, and they like accept that I like have to do that for myself. For sure.
There was even that moment. There was a moment where you were leaving. You're like, hey, I'm gonna go get stuff at Native, and I was like, do you want to go by yourself, or like because I also wouldn't hate going. And you're like, I'm gonna go by myself. And I was like, nice.
That was also the first time I drove like down to the short north like in my life, like by myself, and it was an experience.
It's good.
It was like it was nuts. But I think I became stronger through that experience.
Most definitely you did. But I think I was like, we're always so we know it's hard to do, especially when, as like, quote, the bosses. People people don't often tell us like, hey, I need a day, or I need, because you want to tell your boss like, I can do whatever, just anything you need. And it's always, there's always those moments where Allie and I get to watch people start to do stuff like that, and kind of make those steps, and we celebrate those. That's cool when people know what they need and ask for it.
In the same way of having time alone, I feel in running more of like a team operation, and I'm usually the one that presents to clients, and I'm sitting in on meetings. The other day I realized there were 2 errands that need to be done, about 15 to like 20 minutes away from our office, and there was this moment where I thought, oh my gosh, like I would love to have an hour where I just can listen to a podcast and I'm in my car. But I'm learning to delegate and choose that time wisely. And so to think through, sometimes that is a good like experience or context to have time alone. Sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
For sure.
Let's get into the most important part of all of this,
Yeah.
which is celebrity headlines.
I have such a good one.
Okay.
I'm like, so
I wonder if
excited.
we already said it.
No, I don't think you did.
Okay.
I mean, like, I
Liv and
have
Michael.
no way of knowing that, but I feel like you didn't.
Okay, Liv and Michael will go this time because we shared ours.
Okay, so you guys know Jay-Z's new album,
Yeah.
444. So I read that the club where Solange, like, defended Beyonce's honor and beat on Jay-Z, the address begins with 444. Right?
Yeah,
What?
I read that as well.
Yeah.
And apparently it's like 444 West 13th.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know if it's West, East, whatever.
Yeah.
But the point is, it's Jay-Z's 13th studio album.
Oh my gosh.
13th Street.
The plot thickens.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I
I was
even
like,
say that on the album, like his 13th studio album. Like
Yeah.
it's very like.
yeah. And he claims that he woke up at 4:44 in the morning, and that's why he decided to name.
Well, that's also
But
like
that's
their
also
number.
their favorite number. Blue
Yeah.
Ivy. Ivy is
Yeah,
4.
and like
And, like,
her that she
Tattoo.
has that one song.
Yeah.
4.
Yeah.
Well, the album is
Was
called
it 4? Okay.
I'm like,
It's weird. It's
just
like guys, we
just
But
be
know.
then
real.
I also read something, there's conflicting information, because I also read something that, like, the address for the hotel that happened, like the 444 address, is like the service address, not the real address.
right.
But I choose to believe.
Yeah. In my heart, I believe that
In
that
my
is the
heart.
reason
Yeah.
Yeah.
that he named
He's
his
like
album.
still remembering.
I mean, the
Yeah.
part of it where they're part of like the Illuminati is that everything
it.
is connected into some kind of
Yeah.
weird,
Yeah.
It makes
code
sense.
that we all have to love them because they.
If you add all the
Like,
numbers
4 is
together,
the secret.
I'm sure it'll be like 666.
Probably.
There's this like really long math equation that you
Dang
have to do.
That was a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good quality
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
On brand for the podcast, for
You
sure.
know.
Michael, what's yours?
Well, I previously mentioned it, but Celine Dion is having a comeback,
Yes, she is.
and
Yeah.
it's very exciting.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys saw those videos that she did for Vogue.
Very good.
Yeah.
They were. Have you seen them, Adam?
No.
I'll show them to you after the podcast.
Okay.
They give you
They
life.
were ridiculous.
She's
Yeah.
killing it.
Yeah.
So, like, ever since Renee, her husband, died, she was very sad,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
But since then, she's been really...
They've been together since she was like 15.
Yeah, and he's,
Yeah.
like, older
And
than
he
her.
was,
It's a little
like-
bit weird,
Yeah. But it was endearing
They-
as
they
they were
loved each
both
other.
old.
Yeah. As they both had wrinkles, it was like
It was
great.
fine.
It was
Back when it
acceptable.
started, though, is a little.
Back when she was like a baby and he still had white hair, it was
Yeah.
a little much. But
He, like-
I love her, so
Yeah.
it's cool.
But
Olivia
yeah,
and I
her
saw
resurgence is so good, Adam. Like, you have
Yeah.
to see these videos. She was, like, in Paris, I think it was for Fashion Week or
Yeah.
something, and they shot these ridiculous videos in these ridiculous
It's
outfits.
like not ridiculous enough though to be like there's still something about it that's like, oh, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still art.
Oh,
But
it's not just
I
like.
just
yeah.
want to know, like, whose creative vision was
Yeah.
that? Like, was Celine just on set going to be like, I'm going
gonna
to do it?
this, yeah.
Or were people telling her how to act? Well,
Yeah.
you guys definitely have to watch the video, so we'll link it in the show notes because it's very important
She's like
to see.
cheesy enough that I feel like it was her.
Yeah, it was very campy.
Like when we saw her, she's very like she knows what she's doing.
She was like on
She's a diva.
stage singing "My Heart Will Go On," and like there was like water,
There was like fake rain. It was
like
great.
coming down
Yeah.
on stage, and
I don't even know if it was fake, but I'm
It
pretty
was
sure.
probably real.
it,
Well, even just her
It was paper
performance,
rain.
I think it was at the Billboard Music Awards last year, like right after her husband died, she did that "The Show Must Go On"
Yeah.
song.
mm,
It was good, you guys.
She's just so good.
She's so
She
good.
still sounds great.
yeah, her
Canadian
voice
queen.
is amazing.
Yeah. She's a Canadian queen.
A Canadian queen.
Yeah.
Another Canadian queen. I'm working this in, you guys. Nelly Furtado.
Oh my gosh.
Michael's been sitting in between segments being like, I can't
How
wait to
can
work
I-
in Nelly
yeah.
Furtado somehow.
So can you explain a little bit about how you got reactivated?
Why does
By
Canadian
Nelly?
people make you excited?
Well, I'm Canadian.
Okay, cool.
He's
For
Canadian.
the record.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about Nelly Furtado. I forgot about her, and then she came up somehow. I don't even remember, but
Yeah.
now she's
She's
very
amazing.
important to me.
Yeah.
I listen to her every single day on the way to work.
That's amazing.
I'm trying to get the rights.
She have a new album.
She does have a new album, but that's not what I'm listening to.
Got
I'm
it.
listening to like her old songs.
Was her new album the reason why you remembered her?
That's actually, you're right.
Okay, so
Good
it's
connection.
important that artists come out with new albums so that they remind us of how good they used to
They
be.
used to be.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not even that her new album is bad. I just haven't
You're not
taken the time
It's
to
not the
fully
thing.
listen to it.
Yeah.
Because whenever I click on Nelly Furtado's
Man Eater
Spotify, I'm like,
exists.
I need to listen to Man Eater.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or promiscuous.
Or Promiscuous. No, I'm trying
Maybe
to get
Promiscuous made it in there because I put that on a bunch of playlists because I'm
Yeah.
always into that song.
It's a
And
good
you
song.
like
It's a great
um,
song.
I love Promiscuous.
Wait, how old is Nelly?
She's 39 or 38.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
She looks good
That's
too.
real
She
good.
does look
Yeah.
good.
I'm proud of her.
Good job. She is strong and smart. Also.
I'm trying to get the rights to Man Eater for my upcoming podcast that's currently
Definitely
kind of
need
in
to.
development. I
Yeah.
don't know
Yeah.
how to get the rights for that or if I should just do it and hope nobody sues me. But
I think the first. I would just
Yeah.
do it and hope no one sues you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always wonder how Call Your Girlfriend got Call Your Girlfriend.
We found that podcast that had
Yeah.
the new Jay-Z song as like the intro music, and I was like, there's no
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Jay-Z's very, keeps that close to the vest.
Yeah.
And if you
but
get
you'll-
famous, just like change it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Or if I get famous, I'd have enough money to buy it.
Yeah,
True.
true.
That's
But
I
it's
wonder
also
how much
like-
it costs.
Would Nelly really come after me after all I've done?
I don't know.
If you search my Twitter handle and Nelly Furtado,
It's like good
there's like a
things.
good history for multiple years of me being a nice fan.
Yeah.
A nice
I feel like we're both Canadian.
We're both Canadian
Trying to make it in America.
in the recording industry.
You're like,
You're
we're
like,
the
I
same.
promise I will mention you every episode in a
Right.
positive
I
way.
would
Yeah.
at the end of the podcast, I'd say, thank you for Nelly Furtado for
Yep.
this music. Don't sue me.
Yep.
I'm going to do it, you guys.
Okay.
Be on the lookout for
Okay.
my podcast.
Be on the lookout.
I
We'll
can't
link
wait.
it. Yeah.
I can't wait to listen to it.
Well, Olivia, thank you for chatting with us
Oh,
today.
no problem, guys. It's been a joy.
It's been a
Real.
journey.
It's been a
It's
journey.
been
It's been real.
It's been really good.
It's been really great.
Peace. It's been well.
Peace. Welcome to this segment where we have young Tedesco, which is my name
Producer
for
Michael.
Michael Tedesco.
Producer
Michael.
In my production role
Yes.
as Young Tedesco.
Canadian King. Which is why
Michael,
I call him CK for Canadian
Like
King.
Louis C.K.?
No,
Oh.
for like Canadian King.
Got it.
That's the new thing.
Yeah.
CK brand.
Love it.
Calvin Klein files lawsuit
Sure.
immediately.
We haven't done just an episode of the three of us where Michael is mic'd.
Correct. Michael is Mike.
We're bringing it on the last episode of the season.
So, Michael, share with our listeners, some of the work that you've done over the last couple of months. Like, what kind of things have you been working on? What kind of projects? You've had some pretty exciting stuff going on. And then share. Let's just start there, and we'll kind of dive in.
Great.
Yeah, so I graduated in May from OSU, and since then I've just been working here on a bunch of crazy stuff. So doing a lot of work on the podcast, producing all the episodes and editing them and everything like that. And then I've also done a little bit of animation work for Pursuit, which was something I'd never done before, something I didn't know how to do until
That was dope.
the
I
day
literally was
of.
like, can you learn right now?
Yeah, it was like a Tuesday, and Allie was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, let's do
Let's
this
do Friday."
animation." And I'm like, "Oh, cool, for when? Friday." And I'm like, "Okay."
Can you learn and make it good enough by then?
Yeah.
It worked out. Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks, Skillshare.
Shout out to Skillshare.
Shout out to the internet for actually being a place you can
Shout
learn
out to our
things.
sponsor, Skillshare. Just
Yeah,
kidding.
like the
they're
video
not.
that I
Now
found.
we're about to get sponsors though.
Oh yeah, Skillshare should sponsor
Yeah,
us.
we'll literally use them.
We have to
learn
pay
the thing.
Tedesco's fees, which
Yeah.
is like outrageous.
Very
fees.
expensive.
His
you
fees
guys.
just went up.
I'm outrageous.
Now that he's produced an entire season.
So season 1 was his internship.
Yeah.
Like the whole point of this was like you were an intern in the spring,
Yeah, spring semester.
and
yeah.
then you were good enough that we were like, let's keep him around.
Didn't fire me.
But so yeah, the podcast season 1 was your internship, and so what have you learned after going from I don't know anything about podcasts other than listening to them to like starting to help people make them? Now we have a client who has hired us to help them make their podcast, get it going.
Yep.
Yeah, so talk about lessons learned.
Yeah, I think
season 1.
Season 1.
I think that I was going into it. I was like, oh, I don't really know anything about audio, or editing or anything like that. But I think once you have like a basic handle on it, the content matters more than the audio quality. At least to me.
Yeah.
Hopefully, people listening feel the same.
Yeah, for sure.
I still don't know that much about audio, but I think a lot of like the coaching, or not coaching, but like the work we've been doing with people about podcasts is kind of more development on how to like effectively get their message across.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like not the platform, the like the
format.
The format.
Yeah, because it can all be different. Like, do you want it to be an interview? Do you want it to be solo? Do you want it to be call-in? Is each episode a self-contained thing, or is it like part of a larger narrative? Are you breaking it up into seasons? Like, what exactly are you trying to accomplish? Like, what are you trying to teach or just share?
Yep.
Like, it's all, I think that aspect of it is more important than, like, the actual, like, tech behind it.
Right. And to not sit down and think, okay, now I'm like, this is the first time I've thought about it in front of a microphone.
Yeah, you do have to prep, because once you're on air, people can tell if you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, like they can sense it. I even think of like we have a Basecamp project for the podcast where each episode is like record it, edit it, like publish it, schedule.
Yeah.
Get it
share
updated on the
about
website. Yeah.
Create a graphic.
Make the album art.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that goes into it, and I think it would be easy to, if you didn't know that before you started, to get into it and realize like I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this by myself, or I wish I had help.
But the other side of that is like, I think what I've learned from us doing this is just to kind of, if you want to do it, you just have to do it. Because if you sit around and think of every possible thing that could go wrong, or every possible thing that you need to do, like, oh, for every episode I have to make time to record it, edit it, upload it, write a description, do the album art, do all these things, then that times 10, 12, whatever, that can be intimidating. So I think
just try it.
you either just have to do it or not do it. So just like jump into it and do it. Because that's what we did.
Yeah.
Like you guys had said, and you said on the podcast before, that you've been wanting to do a podcast for a while. And it took just like jumping
Just
into
doing
it.
it, yeah.
And then once you have content up, you're like, oh, well, we have to record the podcast because we said we were going to, and we have people listening that want to hear it.
Yeah.
I think it was always hard for Allie and I to get a podcast made because we would be working all the time, and so it was hard to schedule that. And then having you around, who specifically, we didn't want to feel like we were wasting your time, and so that was like the thing that helped us start to actually like put it on the calendar and get it done.
Like accountability to someone else's work schedule or effort.
Yeah. What have you? So you also consume and listen to a lot of podcasts. After producing and working on this one and a couple of others, what have you still appreciated about like the highly produced, high quality ones? Is there anything that's like, as you've gone behind the scenes, you're just really impressed that other people can do and pull off?
Ever since we've started doing this, whenever I listen to my podcast, I'm trying to figure out like, are they in a studio? Are they calling in? Because some of my podcasts have hosts on like in LA and in New York, and they're like just on the phone or something, and I'm like, how are they sounding so good? Or I notice that people aren't sounding as good when you listen, but like unless you're paying attention to it, you don't realize.
Yeah.
And then a lot of my podcasts will like insert clips, like audio clips of things that they're talking about. Like if they're talking about a song or a movie, they'll insert an audio clip, and I'm like, oh wow, that like took work to get that.
Yeah, you
it's
have to
not
find
all.
it.
You're like adding up the hours in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Or just the organization of like understanding, okay, there's going to be a clip here, but we can still talk about it. There could be a lot of times where we record an episode and there might be missed opportunities to do that because we don't think about it.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, I think when I listen to mine now, I'm always impressed with. I'm like, they sound so good.
Yeah. No,
But
and
I didn't
think,
notice it before.
Well, and there's a big reason people, they have studios working on them,
Yeah.
and they're part of networks, and
They're literally
have,
like
like, ad
NPR.
the other
revenue
thing
for-
that I started listening to, somebody who I just like follow online started a podcast, and her like, first episode was up, and I listened to it and it was really good. There was like all these sound effects because it was more narrative, so she would just like tell a story, and there were all these sound effects for things that were like happening to kind of set the tone, and I was like, wow, this production's really good.
Yeah.
But then when she got to the end of the podcast, she thanked the production company and like 9 producers. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Oh.
that's why it sounds so good. Is because you didn't just do it in your apartment.
Yeah.
You have a production team of like 9 people
Yeah.
who are like doing all of this work.
For sure. This is true of anything. I think when I look at photos that are taken, I so badly want to like point the camera the other way and see like what's happening behind the scenes.
Totally.
Yeah.
And when I get to see that, I'm so not in like a weird nosy way, but just like out of general curiosity of like what went into that photo or that video. And
Because it's harder than you think.
Yeah, it's
and then
way
you're like, how
harder.
come theirs sounds so good, or how come ours doesn't sound like this? And then
Right.
there are actual reasons
Right.
if you like look into it.
for sure. I listen to like 2 by NPR, and I'm always like, yeah, I like have seen their studios. Like they're
Legit.
literally radio.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
it's the radio.
So as Michael, you graduated with a degree in
business
marketing,
Yeah.
with a minor,
2 minors.
2 minors,
Don't get you
Overachiever
guys.
over
I went
here.
to school.
which is why we were impressed by his 2 minors.
Film studies and music media and enterprise.
He just like studied the music industry.
Yeah.
He's like, I know
It's
it.
happening.
I know about it. It exists.
Tidal,
Yeah.
Spotify.
Radio.
We
It just keeps saying
we like
radio.
name dropping places you can hear songs.
Concerts.
Shout out to concerts.
Me whistling. Zunes. Okay, I'm done.
God.
Wait,
A Zune.
A
I
Zune.
forgot.
does that exist?
Yeah.
Like a knockoff iPod.
It was like a MP3
But it's
player.
not. It doesn't exist anymore.
I'm sure it still
does.
does. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm sure like there's one somewhere.
No,
but
I
it's
bet
like,
they still
I bet
make
they have
them.
new Zunes.
Yeah.
No,
I'm looking it up. Keep talking. I'm looking
Yeah,
it
okay,
up.
ask your question.
Well, so you graduated in May,
Yeah.
and then promptly, all of the work that you do here is kind of based around things that you have just started doing. So talk a little bit about what that was like to come out of college, or even as you were ending college, but then you were starting this internship where you started to get to, make videos for people and edit videos, which is something you hadn't done before, work on podcasts, work on graphics, work on animation. So you've like tackled a lot of new stuff. What's that been like?
It's been good because kind of what I went to school for isn't really what I want to do. Like, I went for a business degree and a marketing degree, and it wasn't like a creative marketing degree. It was more analytical, like that side of marketing. And that's not what I wanted to do. And so kind of when I started here with my internship in January, when I was still a student, is kind of when I first started figuring out, I could actually do a more creative side of branding rather than the analytical side of marketing. So then when I was graduating, my thought process was just like, I'm going to stick around at the Wonder Jam and see what experiences I can get in that more creative side, because all of my experiences up until then had been like the academic, like analytical side of marketing. So I figured, like, even if this doesn't turn into anything and I have to find a job somewhere else at the end of the summer, or whenever, like, at least I've been working and building a portfolio on something that's actually interesting to me and like not what I went to school for.
Yeah. It's like weird to think of, I don't mean it to be depressing, but like between January and now, like that you could, anyone listening, build a portfolio enough to find work anywhere.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with 4 years of education.
Yeah.
And I think everything is contributed. Like you, even through your minors, have different interests. And I firmly believe more official like degrees just empower and enable people to feel like they can talk more
definitely.
openly about that type of, I don't know, work or industry.
Yeah.
But by the way, the Zune is dead. It is not made anymore.
So
You can still buy them on eBay.
I was right.
Yeah, you were right.
Okay, cool.
I guess I just
just-
thought like
I
it's
just,
probably
like-
reinvented it.
I just like really like
Like
it
an
when people
exclusive
say
line at
that.
Walmart or something.
I mean, I know I
You're
was right,
right,
but when
yeah.
other people say it, it feels better.
I had a Zune and now I'm sad.
You had a Zune?
Yeah. It was like yellow. It was orange and gray.
It, like, they weren't that much cheaper than
Than an
iPods.
iPod, yeah.
It just was like,
Well, I think
cheap enough.
what it might have been, I remember when I was in like 5th grade or something, we got an iPod, but we didn't have a Mac, so they weren't compatible at the
oh,
time.
right.
So maybe that's why people had Zunes, because their
True.
parents, like we had a PC, and so we had to return our iPods that we got for Christmas because they weren't compatible.
Oh no, that's really depressing.
It was so sad.
And now that I'm looking at a picture of a Zune, I think I actually had a knockoff version of a Zune. It looked more like a cassette player.
Allie had a thing that was
Allie
called...
just had like a record
It was
player.
called, like-
she just had vinyl.
It was called like MP3 Fun.
Yeah,
and you
I
bought
gotta
it
find it.
at
I'm gonna
Big
see if I can
Lots.
find a picture so we can show note it.
yeah, we
but
need to show note that.
anyways, I'm.
No,
still
I think we've seen so much. You know, so much of my degree has nothing to do with the work I do today.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
And it's so much. It's been very empowering to watch people be able to build their own careers or build their own even like angle within a larger
Yeah.
career industry they want to get into. It's
Yep.
There's a lot of things that are possible if you just try stuff, get on the internet, learn how to
Oh,
do
I know.
something.
And if you meet the right people.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like so lucky and like happy that I found you guys and that I have an opportunity here.
Oh yeah, shout out to
Us.
shout out to us. No, shout out to Madison.
Yeah, Madison, my friend
So
Madison.
She
Totally.
interned in
Sorry,
the fall.
Madison. I just swooped your shout out.
She entered in the fall,
Yeah.
and she was like, "Oh, you should apply for an internship there."
Yeah.
And originally, I was like, "Oh, yeah, that sounds so cool. Like, are there like opportunities there after I graduate?"
She's like,
And she was
"No."
like, "No." She's like, "It's really small. It's just an intern thing."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, whatever." So I still applied for the internship, and I got the internship,
Yep.
and now I'm still around.
Yep.
somehow.
What's really, I think the other thing that's very true is take advantage of your personal connections.
For sure.
That's like the only way people get jobs.
Yeah.
Almost
Yeah.
nobody gets jobs off of just really
Right.
applying for something.
Yeah, no,
Like,
and people are like too proud to talk about nepotism.
Yeah,
I'll take
it's
anything.
very true.
Yeah.
I mean, my
get.
sisters are intern. Like, come
yeah,
on.
my brothers work for us. Your brothers work for us.
Yeah. It's very true.
My sister, if she was,
Not a
she
successful
will sometime
nurse.
if she
Yeah.
wants to. She always asks. She's always like, "Are you guys
Can I
hiring
hire you?
nurses?"
Yeah. Can I get hired there? Or like you could just like take care of us.
You had a splinter the other day.
I know. I think I still do.
So shout out if you're a nurse, contact us. We have a couple of splinters.
we have a
and
splinter.
Other things we got to figure out.
No, I think it's gone. It really hurt.
I got one though. I think it was from the table that we took out of the small kitchen. Because when Annie and I were carrying that out,
didn't
I got
touch
one
that.
too. Oh, I thought. Well, then no clue where you got yours from.
I did use a hammer today to.
What?
So
Wow.
we are very. We work with our hands here.
No,
I would
really
say
do.
as a whole team,
Yeah.
we don't have very calloused hands.
No. My hands are very
In
smooth.
aggregate.
True.
A very famous family story from like my family
Yeah.
was I was like 10 and we were installing a sprinkler system and like my line that got me out of the work and then got me mocked for like years to come was I don't do manual labor.
How old were you?
Like 10. And it's still true. I don't do
I do like at least my
labor.
child knows like themselves.
So I just got to glue together the pipes rather
don't
than having to
do-
dig the holes.
I don't do manual labor.
My infamous story in my family is. Well, I have many. Everyone has many.
Yeah, for sure.
But I decided I would mow the lawn one day, and I think I was probably 15 or 16, first time ever. Our lawn isn't huge, but I got the worst blister on the middle of my hand, and my brother was just like, "You literally mowed once," and it was like huge in the middle of my palm.
That's when you know.
It's like I was gripping it way too
If
hard.
you have young kids, if you're parenting,
Yes.
just you got to get them working before then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
before they're like able to say that they're
Like when they're like
uninterested.
6, you got to have them like pick up the room.
True.
You know,
Yeah.
you can't.
I was a good
start
kid.
young.
Don't get it wrong.
Yeah.
I just
I was
No,
a
you
very
were-
good
I wasn't
You-
trying to dig trenches.
Yeah.
like
It impresses
World War
me how
II.
much. So growing up on a farm, I always thought like farm people worked harder than everybody else. But it's impressive to me working with all not farm people.
Yeah, very much not a farm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the whole Wonder Jam team, except for me, is not farm people.
True.
But everybody works really hard. Like, people are hardworking. It's
Yeah.
not. It's just not the same.
Not the same type of work.
Not the not the way they put calluses on your hands.
True.
Which is it's cool.
Calluses on your mind.
I have a calloused mind.
I am a calloused heart.
Yay!
This has been super fun to talk
It
to
has
everybody.
been fun.
I
I've
like
loved
it.
it.
You've loved it. I just like it. I love other episodes.
No, it's cool to be mic'd.
It is. We got to Michael more
We're gonna
in season 2.
we'll do that way more often.
So in the future, this is sort of
Guys, no celebrity headlines.
but we already did
mine.
all of ours.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Celine Dion, Kanye,
Oh.
TGIF.
TJF.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I mean, we could have other ones.
Yeah.
Oh, I felt like this segment didn't get its own.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I
section.
talked about mine
Yeah.
earlier.
Okay.
We did it.
Sorry.
You guys, we did it.
Sorry I said that.
It's been a season.
The next season
We did a season. And next season we're going to talk about. We got a couple ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
we're
not sure
debating
yet.
between a few ideas. We'll probably take like a week or 2 off, come back. No?
I don't know.
Adam gave me this look. Oh wait, you can't see me. It's the look that you give someone where you're like, really? Really?
I don't want to take a week off, Mom.
Well, we need to
We need to
decide.
brainstorm. We need
Yeah.
to prep. Like we were
We have a
talking about
couple
before when I
ideas.
said the podcast,
Yeah.
you got to do work before.
No, we can start episode 1 can be like in 3 days, but we have no idea what it is.
Right.
So look forward for that great content.
Can't wait. We're debating between two themes.
3.
3 themes.
I came up with another theme recently.
Oh, we'll have to talk about it. But it's been real. We've loved hearing from you, and we can't wait for more.
Thank you.
Love you.
Love you.